Mm.
All right.
We're good. We're good.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, let me grab. Oh man, now I'm all comfortable again. All right.
Sorry. All
We
right.
are here today. Okay, welcome to the Super Davis Bros podcast. We are on episode 37.
Boom.
Boom.
Yeah.
And we are going to talk sequels, which is why we are also playing the sequel to Super Mario Bros. Super Mario Bros. Dos.
To be specific, we are doing sequels that follow the original because sequels actually means anything following in sequence, right?
I guess that's true.
So
So,
we are being specific, and I said that on our poll too, to being the dose, the follow up to the OG. So that's what we're playing
yes.
today.
Yes, my bad. Cool. So, yeah, did you want to start off with the poll?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Let's start off with the poll. So, before we start off with the poll, um, no, we'll just jump in the poll. Let's jump into the poll. All right, cool. It sounded like I said let's jump in the pool.
I thought you said bowl.
Bowl. Jump
Let's
in the
jump in the
bowl.
bowl. Nick Foles said, "I love sequins." And he said, "Oh, did you say sequels? Never mind, I'm out." So we lost him.
What's up, Nick Foles? One of my let's begin with this the sequels. My number one in the top vote was dropping a deuce. So that was the winner. Poll over. Pooping. Pooping.
What? What?
I'm just joking. It's just dose. Dropping a number two. Okay, so here's
Dropping
what we
a
got.
number deuce.
Dropping a number deuce. All right, so here's what we put up for sequels, and like we said, it had to be the second movie in the franchise, and we'll read off the poll, and then we'll talk about it. We'll talk about our feelings on some of these films. So, okay, here's what the poll has. We have. I'm sorry, my friend. Okay. We have Blade Runner 2049, Top Gun Maverick. Did you see Top Gun Maverick?
I didn't.
Oh, it's so good. It's really good. Aliens, plural. The Dark Knight. If you haven't seen The Dark Knight, just turn off this
just
stream or pause this podcast.
get out of our lives.
Go watch The Dark Knight. The Dark Knight, Toy Story 2, The Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back, The Godfather Part 2, Back to the Future Part 2, 22 Jump Street. That one got no votes. That one was fantastic.
That one was great.
Yeah, I love that one. In fact, I'm voting for it right now. Shrek 2, Incredibles 2, Paddington 2, The Bourne Supremacy, and Deadpool 2 was an add-in by our buddy Jeremy Wise, which we need to get Jeremy back on the pod.
For sure.
It's been too long. So there was a clear cut. There was no clear cut winner on this. Yeah.
The mushroom just killed me on the game. Don't you get bigger from the mushroom? No, I don't think we played too much of this one when we were kids. That mushroom killed me. Watch.
No way.
Yeah. Maybe you need to step on it to get it. I'm going to try
Like that
stepping
mushroom?
on it. Yeah. See?
What?
Maybe you have to stomp it to get it.
Oh, that's weird. Oh, by the way, we're playing Super Mario Brothers 2.
We said that. We did say that.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
I did.
I'm sorry.
We didn't.
I don't always listen to you. Okay, so
I know that. I know that.
I get distracted. You know, for a podcast where we multitask a lot, we're not very good at it.
We're terrible at it.
I kind of want to see how this works with the mushroom this
I
time.
know. I'm curious too.
I'm wondering if this is like a backwards game or something. That seems whack. What?
Yeah.
That's not right. You got to back out and go back in. Something's wrong. There's
Okay.
no way, right? No way.
Yeah, that's weird.
Try it on the. Is it on Super Nintendo? Super Nintendo
No.
rather than it's only on NES.
Yeah, but we'll try again. We'll see what happens.
right. If not, we can jump to, I don't know, something else. But okay. So there was for the poll, there was a tie for first place. There was actually a 3-way tie, and the whole time throughout the week that we had the poll up, it was kind of going back and forth between these three, and I was really hoping like one of them would overtake, so we'd have like a clear cut number one. But we don't. We don't have a clear cut number one. So we do have a clear cut number 2 and a clear cut number 3. So that's good. And then we had a decent amount of votes. So appreciate everybody that voted. Most everybody that voted voted for the top 3. Like it was like everybody who voted the top 3.
Of course.
So so let's talk third place first. So that sounds funny. Third place first. So, Jordan, take a guess. The bronze medal for the best sequel, according to the Super Davis Bros poll, which is on, for those of you listening to the podcast and want to join in on the conversation, is on our Facebook group, Super Davis Bros, DAVIES. Just go ahead and hop in our group. We do polls every week. So, yeah.
Was it Star Wars?
No, good guess. Star Wars did make the podium. Sorry, I burped while no, I will give you a hint. It is a cartoon. It's an animated.
Shrek.
No, I totally would have thought
Oh,
Shrek would have
wow.
destroyed. It did
Yeah,
not.
Shrek 2 is great as well.
Shrek 2,
so-
I would maybe argue, I think I like Shrek more for the comfort, just because of that story and it's funny. But Shrek 2 is just as good. If not, I could understand someone debatably arguing that it's better.
I would say Shrek 1's better, but I think they're both
Phenomenal.
like better or same, but I don't think 2's better. I
So
think
just same.
probably same. Yeah.
Same or worse.
Yeah, same or worse. Like no, I'm saying first
Oh, for
was
someone
better,
to take. Oh, okay. I get what you're
or
saying.
they're the same. Like that's hard for me to decide though, so we'll just go with the same.
I honestly think Shrek is probably would make my top 10 of favorite movies ever.
Yeah, it'd be up there.
Especially
Yeah, there.
animated. I just love it. I love that movie. But so Shrek 2 did not make the podium. It was actually Toy Story 2. Toy Story 2 got
Okay.
third place.
That makes sense.
I actually think Toy Story 2 is better than Toy Story. And we're going to talk about that a little bit. I think generally, I don't know how you
Toy-
feel, Jordan, but
Toy Story 2 is hilarious.
it's awesome.
It's so good, and they bring
And it makes me
more
want
characters
Cheetos.
in. Well, yeah, when he's licking his
When he's licking those his big old chub fingers, I'm like, oh man, I'm jealous of this guy. He's just got a bowl
I
of
want
Cheetos.
to lick his fingers.
Yeah, I would love to lick that guy's fingers.
Those fingers look good.
Newman's fingers.
Yeah,
Um,
he plays him too.
Yeah,
right?
that's why I was joking. Yeah,
Okay.
Newman. Yeah, he's the voice.
I knew that, but I just like reconnected it just
Yeah.
then. I'm like, wait a second.
Newman.
Newman.
See, no one cares. That's combining a movie with another movie that he's in.
Oh, Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, nobody cares. Yeah, Toy Story 2. Great pick. That was number 3. Number 2, there's only one lone movie as a number 2, taking home the silver medal. You want to take a guess?
Home Alone 2.
That wasn't on the poll.
We
That
didn't.
is
I
a
know. I just
fantastic-
thought of that.
That's a fantastic number 2.
I was just thinking that should have been on there, but I
Oh, man.
didn't even realize.
That is great.
Yeah,
but
that's on my list.
Well, let's talk that after the poll, because I totally spaced that too. That wasn't even on
That's
any of
crazy.
That's blows my mind. No, Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back, honorable silver. Love it. I think that's the best movie other than Rogue. Well, we'll get into it in our Star Wars episodes, so I won't give away any spoilers. But Empire Strikes Back is definitely going to be one of my top movies.
Yeah,
I think that one's fantastic.
it definitely hit mine in this, and I didn't want to talk about it too much, so we'll just talk about it here and kind of drop it, I guess.
Well, I
'cause
think
we'll
we
go
can
into
talk
Star
about
Wars.
it as a sequel, but we won't give away where it would rank among our Star Wars movies, because we're going to rank all of them in the
Okay,
future.
yeah, that's
Is that
fair.
cool?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the 3-way tie for number 1. You want to give a crack at any of them? So technically, this would be the top 3, but they all got cold.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of them all now.
Think greatest. We should probably pull up a game.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I
Um,
was letting it load, and then I kind of got distracted.
Oh, did you? That's why, Jord. Go back. And then, sorry for the podcasters. We're working out the game right now on the stream. Go back to the game selection.
I saw what you were pointing at. So
Yeah, go
but
to the
what were you
game
saying?
itself. Rather than the collection, that one that you went to is actually technically I think Super Mario Brothers 2 is that's Lost Levels. So go down. That one is the one you need to be
Yeah,
playing.
that's right.
And this is the one I was thinking about. This is
Yeah.
where you can play as Peach, Toad. Okay. I was like, I swear that's not.
That game should have worked anyways, but now I do remember this one
Yeah,
more.
we played
Yep.
this one.
Yep.
Okay,
We played
cool.
the other one too.
All right. The other one was Lost Levels, which came, I think, as a pack, like when you bought two, because I think this was only released in Japan originally. I don't know. I know I've researched this, but I don't feel that I have enough. I can't recall.
Recollections.
I don't have enough recollections about this. Yeah, this is it, dude. And you're playing Luigi with the dope jump, which I just watched Super Mario Brothers movie again with Becca, who loved it, and I think it was better this time around. The Super Mario
good.
Brothers movie,
It
but
was
I wish
so
they would
good.
have made Luigi have the dope jump a little bit more.
Yeah, he does have a cool job.
All right, so the top three. I'm gonna give you a hint for one of them. Okay. One of them has probably the best villain, in my opinion, in any movie ever. The villain is like the best villain in any film ever.
Aliens.
Okay, so Aliens is one. That wasn't what I was gonna saying, but yeah, Aliens is one. The Dark Knight.
Oh, duh. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
The Dark Knight, I think, in my
Yes,
opinion, is
I
the
agree.
best sequel ever.
We actually, speaking of Batman, we got a first time chatter on here. Major Francis.
That's a great name.
This is actually somebody I know. It's I went on a field trip with my daughter,
Uh-huh.
and her friend was on the field trip with us. This is her friend's mom,
Oh, cool.
and I was telling her about our podcast. And let's see, she said 1992 Batman Returns.
Ooh,
Come
that's a
on.
good one. That's
Come
a
on,
good one.
y'all.
Yeah, Batman Returns is
Yeah.
solid
So
pick.
good. That one's got Penguin and Catwoman in it. Yep.
All I remember is that my Batman sounds like this. I'm Batman. And Batman Returns is like, I'm Batman. What's his fucking oh my gosh, what's his name? The dude who plays Batman. Beetlejuice guy. Man, you're not doing good.
I'm
on this
doing
game.
terrible. It's hard.
You know, I think it's probably because you're playing with Luigi, who has a rough. Michael something.
Bublé.
Yeah, Michael Bublé.
Yep.
He's amazing voice.
Fact check.
And
Yep, we're good. Yep.
yeah, Michael Bublé, one of the most amazing Batman. His voice was a little bit different. He's like, I'm Batman.
Yeah. That was beautiful, Matt.
Michael Bublé. Okay, sorry. The Dark Knight and The Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers.
Oh my gosh.
So I agree with our Super Davis Brotherhood that those were the three best sequels in my
Yeah.
opinion. We'll jump into a few more, but I think that was great pick. So at number one was tied for number one is Aliens, The Dark Knight, and The Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers. Second place, according to our poll, is Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back, and third place is Toy Story 2. So fantastic.
Awesome.
Yeah, loved it. Anyway, so thanks for everybody that voted on the poll. We really appreciate it, and we love when people.
That's how good
Jordan
we
just
are.
died again on the stream. It's okay, man. Multitasking is hard. You're
Michael
gonna die
Keaton.
again right now. Yeah,
Michael
Michael
Keaton.
Keaton. No, it's Michael Bublé. We already said it. It's Michael Bublé.
Yeah, Michael Keaton, Bublé. Bublé.
Bublé. And Christopher Robin was the Dark Knight's Batman. Christopher Robin.
Yeah. He's
And
got a lot
and
of.
Jared
He's got a really troubled mind, so that would make sense.
and Jared from Subway was the Joker in Suicide Squad. And
Okay, let's just go through movies like this now, Matt.
and Ben and Jerry of Ben and Jerry's Ice Cream. He was the Batman in the other one, Batman versus Superman. Ben and Jerry from Jerry's Ice Cream.
Oh
So-
my gosh, I am so bad at this. You go. It's your
I
turn.
don't want to.
Yeah, I got some comments to read, so
Okay.
you deal with it.
I already died. What the heck?
Okay. Here to Mike said Aliens, best sequel ever. Nick Foles 22 Jump was eh.
Oh, what? He thought it was eh?
And then he said Jordan is my favorite sequel.
Oh,
That is awesome.
dude, I'm so mad that that was part of my plan, dude. So that was
How
my
did he just take it from you?
I guess he's just got the same mind as me. So my plan was my top sequel was going to be Jordan. The sequels are never better than the original, but Jordan but Jordan's my
Screw you,
favorite sequel.
Backhanded compliment there.
Yeah, that's oh man, Nick Foles, you ruined it. I'm saving it the whole time for this.
Oh man.
But yeah, I love
That's
that
funny.
Nick Foles. So, why doesn't everybody in the chat drop their favorite sequels too? So,
Yeah. Everybody drop your favorite sequels. I'll try to read them off. I know which one's the bottom comment because it says, oof, the Jared from Subway reference.
yeah,
Nick
probably.
Foles thought that.
Okay, let's do
bombed.
Jared Goff. Jared Goff plays. There you go, Nick Foles. I should have done Princess Peach.
He said, whoops, sorry about the spoilers, but it's obvious that Jordan is number one. That's what I'm talking about. Thanks, Nick
Actually,
Foles.
he's number 2.
I'm number
He's the
one,
best
number two.
number
I'm the best number 2. That's dumb.
It's true. Oh man,
All right. So let's get into this a little bit.
okay. Sorry, I'm focusing on the game. Go ahead. Why don't you start off with? I don't know how you did it. Did you rank yours, or did
I
you just
kinda-
have a couple that you wanted to throw out, or how did
I
you?
kind of just had a few that I wanted to just throw out. It was hard for me to rank them. I actually didn't get a ton of time to like organize it,
Right.
but I had plenty of time to like get them.
Okay.
So, I'll just start throwing them out. But Jurassic Park 2 was amazing. That's the one where we went to her. Let's see. The dinosaur comes. They did bring it to California at the end, right?
No, that is.
That's the second.
I thought that was the third. I
I'm
thought the
pretty sure that's the
second was the one with Jeff Goldblum was the main lead in the second one,
Yeah,
and
that's
his
the one.
daughter's like the gymnast.
That's the one. And then at the end, it comes to
Oh really?
California. Yeah, it's the same. Samesies.
Oh okay. I'm sorry. I it's been a while.
Yes,
so-
that's the same one. And what's his name is in it? Vince Vaughn.
Oh yeah.
He's the cameraman.
Early Vince Vaughn, and
Yeah.
they go up in the crane. Yeah, that one was good. I actually liked all of them. They're nowhere near as good as the OG.
The first is the best, but that's a solid sequel. Number 2 sequel. Sorry.
Yeah, I think that's the first Jurassic Park I think is a good trilogy.
And then I had The Dark Knight, of course. That one's huge for me. I loved that one. With
yeah.
the Joker. You know.
Mhm. Yeah. I
Do you have one? Do you have any?
I have a ton.
Do you want me to just spit all mine or what?
Sorry, I'm just so distracted playing.
Now you
this.
know how I feel. I'm reading comments doing this
I
and
know,
trying to
I
follow
know,
along.
I know.
It's hard.
I know. We really do just need to get a person playing the game the whole time. Or what we could do is record us playing it earlier and then just put the video.
And we'll just kind of do this during the recording.
No, I mean.
And then we just voice it in later.
No. Okay, so here's a couple of mine. One of my favorite that got no votes, so I'm going to bring it up, and I think anybody that has kids should watch this movie. Is Paddington 2. So have you seen Paddington? You ever
Yeah.
seen Paddington?
Yeah.
So I think Paddington 2 is better than Paddington. Oh my gosh, I can't get on this stupid guy on the game. But I think Paddington is awesome. So Paddington 2 I think is amazing. It's got I guess Paddington was an old kids children's book in England, and it's all London actors. But the guy who voices it is the dude off of he's Q in the new James Bonds. But it's really good. Highly recommend it. It's super sweet. If you have children, it's so endearing, and Paddington is just the best. And they have like music and sing-alongs and
Nick
but
Foles said Paddington 2 Marmalade Mania. Is that what
yes.
it's called?
Well, I think it's just called Paddington 2, but yeah, it's all about marmalade is his favorite treat. Kind of like Winnie the Pooh's is honey. Marmalade is his favorite. So
Winnie the Pooh would best Paddington in a fight for sure.
who said that? Nick Foles?
Yeah. And then Major Francis said, what about Kill Bill Part 2?
Yeah, I thought about throwing that one in there. How do you feel about Kill Bill?
Oh,
Volume
man.
2?
I actually just need to watch them again. I haven't watched them in probably 20 years.
Yeah, I don't
been
feel
so
like
long.
I've watched them recently enough to
Yeah.
give like a fair opinion on it. I remember at the time they were kind of like groundbreaking films.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I can't remember. Is that the one where it was so violent? It's Quentin Tarantino, right? But is that the one where they do the like stabbing scene from the bed, but they do it in like animation? Is that the one like where they stab the person underneath the bed? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah, it is.
Look, dude, beat the boss. Okay, your turn. Got through level 1.
No, you keep going. You're doing great.
No,
dude.
now I get to
Stick
talk.
it out, dude. You've been talking and playing it great.
Okay. Well, I got to look up some of my notes.
No.
You can do Princess Peach. She kind of like hovers. She like kind of floats. So I'd pick that one. Okay. So my favorite movies, right? I would like to talk about. So I already mentioned Paddington. I think that one is great. But one that I wanted to talk about was
I still died immediately. I'm so bad at this.
was one that what the heck's Princess Peach's hair is
What the heck, dude? Why am I so awful? I know I played this pretty decently as a kid. Maybe I didn't. Who knows?
I know you can't go the whole time. You got to get
You
on the
have to
carpet.
Get that.
Yeah.
I remember.
Sorry, dude. I keep saying I'm trying to think of what I was about to say with sequels. Oh, so I think there are very few sequels that are better than the original. So I wanted to start off with the ones that I think are actually better than the original. Like 100% are better than the original. So one without fail that's better than the original. You got to get going across quick, dude.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Is Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers. I think that's the best Lord of the Rings movie there is. Jordan, if you want to switch games, it's fine.
No, I want to let people laugh at me.
Okay, good.
I'm just
because
I'm here for your entertainment. That's exactly.
So those
what
of
I'm
you on the
gonna do.
stream, Jordan's doing this for you. He's sucking bad for you
yeah.
guys. But favorite sequels that outbeat the original. Here are my top 3. Lord of the Rings: Two Towers. Not only do I think that's better than the first Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Rings.
Yeah, I agree.
I think that's the best one of the whole series. I think the Two Towers war battle, the epic battle at the end at Two Towers, is one of the coolest fight battle scenes ever. I think it's just so intense.
I like when he throws Gimli onto the. Oh my gosh. Throws Gimli onto the bridge, and they try to buy the king some time.
Yeah.
It's so dope.
Just that whole, he's like, throw me.
He's like, don't tell anybody about it.
Yeah.
This will never happen again.
And they're counting the kills and stuff. But just that opening scene where they're on the wall of the tower and the orcs are lining up to come fight them, right? And you see this just sea of these just ugly beasts, and it's so crazy. It's just intense. Like I remember watching that in theaters being like, this is the coolest movie ever. Coolest fight, coolest war. That's probably for me one of the best war scenes ever, in my opinion. So, love that one. I think it's better than the original. The other one that I think is better than the original is The Dark Knight. We've talked about it briefly, but I think The Dark Knight is way better than Batman Begins, and it's definitely the best in the series. It's better than The Dark Knight Rises. I still think that's a really great trilogy, but there's no doubt in my mind that that one's the best. And obviously, it's a big reason for that is because of Heath Ledger, and the Joker is one of the most phenomenal characters ever. But I just think it's fantastic. So, I'll throw another one that I think's better than the original. Is you have one that you think's better, like a sequel's actually beats the original? Because I think that's really hard to do.
It's kicking my butt today. I got a scratch in my throat.
Run! You have no life left. What sequel do you think is better than the original? You can hold her up as you hover. Yeah.
Yeah, I did know that, but I wasn't doing it. What do I think's better than the original?
Yeah, can you think of any that are better than the original?
Aliens.
Yes. So that was my third one.
Yeah.
Aliens is way better than the original.
For sure. I think the original is amazing still.
Still great. Yep.
I am a huge fan of Aliens and Aliens vs. Predator and Predator.
The whole franchise, you're pretty.
So I'm kind of biased, but yeah, that one, all of them are so good. But that one's by far the best of them all, actually.
I agree, and that looks like Dad agreed on the chat too on
he
that
did.
one. So, I think it's fantastic. The only ones I already talked Paddington 2, but I think Paddington 2 is better than the original, but the original is just great too. Because I think in order for a movie to get a sequel, it has to be pretty decent itself, right? Like it's,
No.
which makes it also more difficult for sequels to be successful because they usually are trying to follow up something that everybody loved.
Yeah.
And that's a really difficult thing to do. So when franchises are able to make a second movie that's better than the first, it's really impressive. And we actually planned to do this episode next week because we were going to see Dune Part 2 this past weekend, but we had to,
Oh my God.
because of the group that we were, you want me to do it? Okay. Because of the group that we were going with, we had to switch it up. So we are going next weekend, but I have heard from a couple of people that have seen Dune 2 that it outshines the OG. So the reason why I bring that up is I think when movies are set out to be the first movie they know is going to be a follow-up, like Lord of the Rings knew they were doing a trilogy, right? It was already signed off on. I think when movies know that there's going to be a part 2, it lends itself to be more successful, the second follow-up. Whereas when they're trying to follow up a movie that was kind of just an original and then it just worked out, and they're like, oh, this is so good, we got to do a follow-up. Like, for example, like Frozen or any of the Pixar movies. They do decent follow-ups, but they're nowhere near as good because they're trying to capitalize on this crazy lucky success that they had.
Right, for sure.
That's not always duplicated. So go ahead. Why don't you talk a little bit?
What'd you think of Iron Man 2?
In my opinion, nowhere near as good as Iron Man.
I liked the first more, but I think it was an amazing second. I liked,
now was that the dude?
it's the one
Can
where
you
they,
remind me which one of the three?
right at
is?
the beginning, he runs into that guy with like the electrode whips.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't like Iron Man 2 as
No?
much.
I liked
I
Iron
thought
Man
3
2.
was better than 2.
That's fair. I just liked that suitcase he brought in, and then his technology got
That was
cooler
cool.
and cooler.
That was way cool.
But he has a suitcase that his suit comes out of. He just stands in it. That was dope.
Yeah. That one was way cool.
And then John Wick 2 was amazing, but all the John Wicks are awesome.
I have not seen 4.
It's they're all good.
Have
All of
you
them.
have you seen 4?
I actually binged them all the other day.
I watched John Wick when I was like at home. I was sick one day, and I was like, a bunch of people just raved about it. It's like, okay, I'll watch it. And dude, those are like some of the most epic gun scenes
For
ever,
sure.
dude.
And
And he
everybody-
shoots people the way you should shoot people, which is like right in the head.
yeah.
Like, there's no like, you see all these movies, right, that have these gun scenes, and they're like shooting from far or whatever, and he's like, no, he like straight up just kills people. He's just
Yeah.
murdering people
Oh,
like
yeah.
crazy, and I'm like, oh, this is dope. But I thought they kind of trailed off a little bit. I saw the first, second, and third.
It
But
definitely became like, oh, this was super successful, and let's keep making him a badass and keep making movies where he does
Yeah.
badass crap.
and how often can you like? How many times is I gotta ride this guy up? I can't. Oh, actually, I think I can kill this dude and then climb it. Right? Yeah. So I love the first one, but no, the second wasn't as good, but it was solid. It was good. It was follow up, but I don't know if they set out with John Wick. Like, I think that's when I could see them like not setting out to have a second, and it was super successful. And then they're like, oh, okay, let's make this a series, and then it's just.
I think it was books, so
Oh, really?
I think they
Okay.
were books. Yeah, if I'm mistaken, let me know. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Real quick, you went to Mike, said Jordan has to pick Pitch Perfect 2 just because Anna Kendrick's in it.
Oh yeah, Andrew Kinnick's like one of your like.
I've actually
crushes,
never
right?
seen Pitch Perfect, either of them or any of them.
Oh really?
yeah,
The first one was okay. It's a little cheesy, but it's all right. I was dating this girl when that movie came out, and the DJing in it just drove me nuts. I was like, I'm gonna be a DJ, music producer, and now I'm at this radio. Like, it's a little cheesy, but it was good. I liked the music in it, and
I feel like the whole show was designed to be cheesy, wasn't it?
yeah, yeah. But I thought it was good. Yeah, Andrew Kendrick's awesome. So she's one of your like
She's like my
celebrity crushes, right?
crush,
Is that like your number one or?
yeah. It's hard. I kind of got another one, and I always forget her name now because she's the girl from the new Jumanji.
Oh yeah, she's a babe.
Yeah,
She's like Irish, isn't she?
yeah,
Yeah, she's a babe.
yeah.
All right, continue.
I forgot what I was gonna say about John Wick. Oh, they say like Die Hard was like the most man movie, like the dude movie of life. Like you know how people say that, like a bro movie, like
Yeah,
you're
it's
not
like
a
a
man if
man's
you haven't
man
seen
movie.
Die Hard. I'm like,
Yeah.
no, John Wick took that over. It was way
Yeah, I
more
do think
badass
John
than-
Wick's more Bamf than.
Yeah. Oh man.
Do you want to talk? Do you want to take a minute to talk your favorite? Oh shoot, that monkey just saved me. Take a minute to talk your favorite games. I thought that'd be a cool one. Your favorite video games?
No, I don't. I want to talk more. I'm just kidding. Real quick, I did want to mention Split.
Oh yeah,
Have you
that
seen
is-
Split? That's
I-
technically a sequel to Unbreakable.
Then that is a better original, or better than the original.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I have. We went to Split together, dude. We went and saw it in the theaters because I really wanted to see it, and Bria was like, "No, that one's just too intense for me." And
It's
yeah,
so
it's
good.
really great. So,
God,
like
this
that.
itch won't go away in my throat. It's driving me nuts.
sorry, dude.
I
Um,
apologize to everybody on the podcast and on the stream.
And the one you keep bumping the camera too.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, so I was gonna say, what was your favorite? I thought it'd be kind of cool to do favorite second follow up video games. You got any ideas for that?
Yes. Okay.
Because here's, I have an opinion
I
on
was
this.
kind of gonna wait till last on this, but
Oh, okay.
a
Do you
good
want to
follow-up
talk a
video
little?
game is Destiny 2.
I've
Destiny
never
2,
played Destiny.
Yeah,
First.
that one's I played a little bit of the first, but I got into Destiny 2, and it's great, but it's a huge game now. Man, I'm dying over here. I'm so sorry, everybody. Um, what's a video game that you got? Super Mario 2?
No.
We did
Oh,
play
I
a
did
lot of
play
this
this
when
one
we
a
were
lot.
kids.
I actually would say I liked this one better than the first. I think I did play it more than the first.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. I would say I liked this better than the first. But what I wanted to say is I think unlike movies where it's really difficult, I think, to follow up a movie and have it be successful. I do think, however, it is a lot easier to follow up a video game. So I think a lot of times the second video game is better. For example, I think that Halo 2 was a million times better
Okay.
than Halo 1.
Yeah, that one was so good. The Call of Duties, like there's so many of them, but Call of Duty 2, I played on like the original PlayStation, I think, or maybe it was on PlayStation 2. And that one was dope. I remember loving that one, but it was just
Yeah.
campaign. It wasn't like the stuff we do today.
I think with movies, they often follow up, or with video games, it always just generally it gets better and better until all of a sudden they're like, okay, you've put out too much. Like after like Halo, after Halo, oh crap, look at that, I can't get down to get my life. After Halo 3, it kind of got overdone, you know? Like, I'm kind of over Halo now. Tony Hawk's a good example of that. Tony Hawk 2 was one I was thinking of that was, like, phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
But after a while, I mean, we did a Tony Hawk episode if anybody wants to go back and check it out. But after about Tony Hawk 3, you're like, okay, you're just kind of spitting out the same stuff. But if you can improve on the original game, I think it's beneficial, and I think they usually do that on the second movie. So
Yeah, that's fair. I think so too. I think the second games generally are pretty good because you can just base it. I mean, you liked the game because all the controls were good. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
and the play in general. So
and a lot of
as
times
long as
they
they
listen
keep the
to
play the same, yeah.
they listen to the fan base too, and they're like, okay, what sucked, and they fix the glitches and fix like the storylines or whatever, and they do a lot better. So
Right.
yeah. Anyway, just it was just a thought. Halo 2 was one that I thought was a lot better. Tony Hawk 2 I thought was way better because you could like manual. That's when manualing became a thing in Tony Hawk 2.
Right. Real quick, what do you think this references? Major France ass.
I love
That wasn't
name.
me. That was Patricia.
That wasn't me. That was Patricia.
What is that? What is that reference?
I don't know.
Is that from like Pitch Perfect? Because you put it in right after that. I'm trying to think of that.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm sorry.
Well,
Major France asked what was it?
what's that reference? She put laugh emoji and then the cross girls did. It's from Split. Oh.
Oh. Dude, that movie messed me up.
Yeah.
That movie made me like, I remember when we watched that leaving being like, oh, what did we just watch? That was rough. But it's so good. That actor who plays him is phenomenal.
He's an amazing actor.
Yeah.
He's the same from Fight Club, right?
No.
No.
He's in X-Men.
And oh yeah,
He's the Professor X, right? Or whatever. Who's the wheelchair guy? I don't know X-Men very well, but the wheelchair dude, he's that guy. Anyway. All right, moving on. What else do we want to talk about? What else are we going to chat about with sequels?
James McAvoy.
McAvoy.
McAvoy?
Oh, man. Do you see that? You messed it up. I was doing good. Yeah, he's in X-Men. The future Days of Future Past is like the professor. Yeah. Professor X is the bald dude in the wheelchair, right?
He's
He's him as a young person.
Maybe.
No, sure. that's it.
I don't know.
It's no maybe.
Isn't he from the one with Angelina Jolie too? The one where they
Assault?
no, the one where they
Oh, they curve the bullet.
curve the bullet. Yeah.
Probably, but I don't know.
Mm.
I didn't see that.
We're good at this, guys.
I'm so sorry. You've got to take over on the podcast when I'm doing the video games.
I'm doing my best, okay? Trying to do my research as well. All right, well, I was going to say
Throw out some other ones.
Star Wars Battlefront
Video game?
2 was amazing and still is. They made the Star Wars Battlefront 2 from the collection, from the classics, and then they revamped it later. And that's what we're playing today on the PS5. And it's so dope. But in other game news regarding that, on the 14th of this month, they're coming out with the Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection. So they're bringing the original game and how it was done back. And I just pre-ordered it on the Switch.
That'd be sick, dude.
Yeah, I'm freaking pumped about it. I loved Star Wars Battlefront. The original was probably one of my favorite games.
So, coming back to movies, I agree. Star Wars Battlefront is really good. You were way into that one. We kind of brushed over Shrek 2, and I had a quote from Shrek 2 that I wanted to talk about because I thought Shrek 2 was really fun and really funny. So there's the part where Shrek, they're in the dungeon, they've been captured, and they're trying to get Pinocchio to lie to grow his nose because they're trying to get him out. And he's like, hey, say something crazy like, I'm wearing ladies' underwear. And he's like, I'm wearing ladies' underwear. And he's like, why didn't your nose grow? He's like, are you? He's like, I most certainly am not. And then it starts growing. He's like, it looks like you most certainly are. And he's like, I am not. He's like, what kind? And then Gingerbread Man's like, it's a thong. And I thought that was super funny. And then the other part that I thought was really funny in that movie is like when they're all saying the name, like Shrek, Fiona, Shrek, Mom, Dad, Harold, and then Donkey's like,
that's in the
Donkey.
Oh yeah. No, I was thinking that was in the first, but it's not.
I just like all the references to like Spider-Man in Shrek 2 and the music, and like they do Led Zeppelin like with the fairies, like the and all the music and stuff's like really good. So I think that one's a great movie, and I just wanted to bring that up because I thought we didn't talk about it enough. So any other movies?
Back to movies.
Sorry.
You're good.
We're kind of jumping
Too
back
Fast, Too Furious. We did a Fast and the Furious episode, so you can jump on that one and find where we placed it. But
it did not get ranked very high.
I thought it was great. I loved it. I watched all
That's
those.
the, like, hick
I am
dude, right?
such a badass for watching these movies. I can drive cars. I can drive cars, man. Yeah, I double clutch. What's double clutching? I do it.
It's a 2 double, so it's clutching twice.
Clutch twice, and you
push
go
the
twice
clutch
as
twice.
fast.
And then you're good to go. Or drifting. You're like, I drift in the snow all the time.
Did you like Grown Ups too?
Yeah, I did.
I thought both those were amazing, and the second was just as good as the first.
I think amazing is a strong word for
Great
for that one, but they are fantastic Adam Sandlers. They're what they're intended to be, stupid,
I thought
dorky
you would have already
comedies.
brought this one up. Puss in Boots: The Last Wish.
So it's not a number 2, is it? I guess in the Puss in Boots franchise it is.
It technically is.
If it is, that movie is phenomenal.
Yeah,
That
that one
movie
was
is
great.
so good, and I've never even seen the first Puss in Boots, but that one was so good. I watched that. Everybody's like, you got to watch it. The animation's incredible. It's so good, and it was really great. If you haven't seen that one, it's awesome. It kind of does a lot of that, similar to like Spider-Verse animation, where they do that
The
like
comic
stop
animation kind of stuff.
that,
Yeah.
like stop motion or whatever. I don't know what they call it, but yeah, it's really great.
France Ass said, would Lego Batman be a sequel for the Lego movie?
Yes.
And I would say yes.
And That's a great pick.
That one is so good.
That one is
The Lego,
hilarious.
those movies are
Those are
so
great.
good.
Although Lego Ninjas wasn't that great, but Lego Batman was hilarious. So
I
that
don't think
is-
I saw that ninja one.
that was the third one they did.
Mm.
And it wasn't that great, but I'm trying to remember
Lego
the
Batman
line.
in general is freaking hilarious.
I'm trying to remember the line where he's. I wish I would have researched that one because you should just Google Lego Batman quotes. But what's the quote when he's making his food? He's like doing his like dinner. He gets home and man, it's gonna kill me. What is he saying? It. I don't know, but
I only work in black and sometimes
Very,
very,
very
very dark gray.
yeah, that's great.
Let me read a couple of these quotes off. Hold on. Why is
Yeah.
it on images? I'm a night stalker, crime fighting vigilant, and a heavy metal rapping machine. I don't feel anything emotionally except for rage.
Except for rage. You gotta do it in the Batman voice.
Sorry. I can't do it. That's like,
All you gotta do is this.
yeah, with my freaking voice being
It's
gone.
perfect because your voice is dark.
I'm a,
That's really good.
I'm a night stalking, crime fighting vigilant, and a heavy metal rapping machine.
That
I
was
don't
really
feel
good.
anything emotionally except for rage.
Except for rage. Yeah. That's great. That's your voice sounds
24/7,
your voice sounds great.
365 at 1,000,000%.
At 1,000,000%. Oh, that's great, dude. I love it.
That was hard to do.
That was a really good Batman.
Thank you. Have you seen the college humor Batman?
Yeah.
Oh
And
my gosh, he's
some of-
like-
we can't say
he's like, "Did you
much
just-
of this on here, but
Did you just try to sneak away? It's that scene where he's on the roof with Commissioner Gordon or whatever,
Yeah.
and he tries and Batman just disappears, and then he's trying to sneak away in College Humor, and he's like behind this.
yeah, he's like, I
he's
can
like,
see you.
I can see you. Oh no,
that's not me.
I found something. Oh really? You found something over there? Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to analyze it with science. So good.
Oh, dude, Lego Batman's a great pick. Whoever
Yeah.
this chick is, man, she's on point. So good call.
Good pick for
Yeah.
sure.
What else you got?
Let's see. I'm sorry, I lost it. Venom, Let There Be Carnage was so good. I love Woody Harrelson, and he's the one who plays Carnage. So
Oh, I haven't even seen.
yeah, I know you
Venom,
haven't seen that
either
one,
of
but
them.
you should watch that one.
Okay. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
both of them for sure. You haven't seen Venom even?
I haven't seen either of them.
You need to watch it. Zombieland Double Tap.
I've only seen Zombieland. Have we told the story about Zombieland, about what happened with Zombieland for me? My first time watching Zombieland?
I don't even know
You-
if I know the story.
You were part of it. I have sort of an LDS mission, and on an LDS mission, you don't watch movies or anything. Like your whole time is dedicated to the church, and you don't watch movies. You don't listen to music. You just go out and like proselyte. So I had been on a 2-year mission, not watching any movies, listening to any music, and I come home on like it was the day I came home. Jordan was like, "Oh, hey, dude, you've got to come watch." He was all excited, which was good. But he was like, "Dude, you got to watch Zombieland. It's so good. You got to watch Zombieland. It's like the best movie ever, and you're gonna love it. We got to watch it." And I was like, "Okay." And you're like, "It's kind of bad, but not really. It's really not that bad." And I was like, "Okay, cool. Let's watch it." And keep in mind, I had not watched anything inappropriate or listened to anything inappropriate for like 2 years. And I haven't even watched a movie. It's not even
forgot
not
about
watching a movie. Like I hadn't watched anything, not just an inappropriate movie, like no movies, right? And Jordan's like, it's all good, dude. You're gonna love it. I was like, okay. And the first scene in that freaking movie is like a chick running with blood all over her. She's like half naked.
Oh, that's right.
And I was like, Jordan, I don't think I'm ready for this. And you're like, no, it's cool. This is the only scene. And then it was like F-bombs galore. And I was like, yeah, Jordan, I just not ready for this. And you're like, okay. I was like, how about we try like Despicable Me? And you're like, yeah, that one's good too. And then I went and watched it later when I had a little bit more.
That's funny.
So my first experience of watching that was like horror. I was like, oh my gosh, the world's terrible. We're all going to die. Yeah. So
Sorry, dude.
no, it's okay. It's just funny.
So I drove to St. George today with work, and I was in the truck with Chris.
Yeah.
So I got his faves real quick.
Yeah, it's here.
He did Too Fast, Too Furious.
Not a very good movie.
It was also on the spot. I'm like, hey, throw me out some faves.
Right.
He didn't have any time to research it. He said he really liked National Treasure 2, which
that
I
one
watched.
was bad too.
I thought it was all right. I mean, I thought the acting was terrible. Like they tried to make it as comedic as the first, and
Was the first very
well, I mean, they tried to like
throwing like
play
the
off
witty
of the stuff
puns and
that yeah
stuff
they were in the first, and it didn't
of
work
the
that
second
well.
guy, the like companion guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then he said Grown Ups 2, and then he really loved Insidious 2.
I haven't even
And
seen Insidious.
I
but-
saw Insidious, and I didn't care for it a ton. I thought it was all right, but for some reason it just didn't fly with me that well. But he said you got to watch Insidious 2 because it kind of like ties stuff that happened in the first one in. So I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. So maybe I'll have to watch both now. So those were some of his, but he did
Cool.
say some of this like Grown Ups too. When I started naming my list, he was like, "Oh yeah, and John Wick and Star Wars," and he was like saying the same as
Yeah.
mine. So
Yeah,
He
to be
just couldn't think
fair,
of them.
I don't think there's a lot of great sequels, but the other ones that I'd say they're pretty good. Finding Dory's pretty good.
Back
Incredible
to the Future 2 is good.
Back to the Future 2 is solid. I did want to talk about bad sequels. So what sequels do you think almost like ruined the movie? Do you
I
have
don't
any?
even remember. I didn't put any of those.
It's okay.
I didn't get enough time to mess with that.
Ones that I think were terrible was Cars 2. Did you ever watch Cars 2?
Yeah, Cars 2 was not.
Really bad. I thought
I
that
didn't
one-
like Kronk's New Groove, which is technically the second to
Yeah,
Emperor's New
any
Groove.
movies that go like straight to video are usually not great. Chris like Kronk 2 didn't go to.
Oh yeah, that didn't. Huh?
No, they were like, it wasn't very good. Do you remember the Kronks, like the school one, like a School's New Groove is like a TV series.
Yeah.
Kronks New School or something like that.
I can't remember the name of the squirrels. The Chipmunk School or whatever, the Scouts.
Some of the other ones I was thinking of was like died again. Was Jaws 2, I thought was really bad.
Never saw
It's not good.
it. Don't need to see it. Don't go see it.
Some of the a couple other ones I thought were really bad were let me pull them up. Sorry everybody. So Jaws 2 was one I thought was terrible. Hangover Part 2 was
Oh, Dumb and Dumber.
Dumb and Dumber. Ghostbusters 2 was just awful. Airplane 2 was really bad. Son of the Mask was terrible.
Yeah, that one was awful.
Yeah, those are some of the main ones that I had. Also, I think one of the most epic failures. Actually, I don't know. Just because it's Star Wars, it's still pretty sweet. But the second Star Wars and the prequels was really bad. I hate sand; it gets everywhere. That's all. I think that one was very good. Excuse me. So, yeah. Anyway, I feel like we've rambled a little, and maybe we weren't as prepared as we could have been. But
You did great.
but is there anybody else on the chat that has any other
Major
input?
Francis just said Grease 2.
Ooh, yeah, terrible. That's a bad one.
And Matrix Reloaded.
Yeah, the
The OG's the best.
OG's definitely the best in the Matrix.
You went to Mike said agree with Grease 2. It was awful.
What about the Mummy 2?
I liked it. I didn't like that they continued on from there with like
Scorpion King.
Scorpion King and stuff, because what it's kind of weird how he was like an actual half scorpion, half human, and then the Scorpion King, like the actual movies they made about it later, he was
Yeah.
like just a human.
I think that one's nowhere near as good as the second one.
I agree, but I still love the Mummy movies, and I'll watch.
I
them.
love the Mummy movie, the OG. That's
like
one
them
of
both.
my top.
I just yeah.
Okay.
The first is definitely the best.
Well, this movie or this episode was intended to be after our follow up to Dune Part 2 review. But that will be happening next Wednesday. And I think we're going to have a coworker of mine, Jane, is probably going to come on the podcast for it.
Dope.
She's read all the books. So we like having experts when we talk about expert stuff. So
That'll be awesome. Major Francis said Silent Hill, the remake, wasn't my fave either. So I haven't seen Silent Hill.
I haven't either. I wasn't as pumped on Frozen 2 either. Sorry, guys. I have a child. Also, I found out today that I am having a baby boy for my second child. So first boy in the family.
Congratulations.
Yeah, got to carry on that Davies.
You did it
Davis
again,
name.
Matt.
Thanks.
You done
Speaking
it twice,
of sequels,
and you've done it
hey, speaking
Yeah,
of sequels,
hey, there you go.
yeah,
That's a
there
good
you
one.
go.
That's good.
That's my favorite sequel. My other favorite sequel is My Brother Jordan. Not as good as the OG, but
Stop.
one of my favorite sequels. So
Stop being a nice asshole.
hey,
Jerk.
sorry, Sergeant Francis it was the name inspired me. Yeah. So we're gonna do Dune Part 2 next week. So there will be some spoilers next week. We're gonna talk all about the movie, and we're also gonna have Jane on, who knows a lot about the books. So she's probably gonna spoil some other stuff. But we'll also have somebody on there that you can ask questions about. So if you've seen the movie, or you're going to see the movie this weekend, make sure you hop on for that episode and ask the questions that you want to ask. Because, like I said, we got an expert. We only have experts here at the Super Davis Bros podcast. Jordan is the expert of sequels.
Yeah.
He is number 2, Dose, Luigi, right here.
This isn't a sequel, but when I read Major Francis, I immediately thought of Stripes.
Oh, yeah.
I can't remember the quote now. If you look at me, I'll kill you, or whatever. What does he say?
Oh, yeah.
Fudge. Now I can't remember. I had it in my head a minute ago.
Let me see if I can find it for you real quick.
Oh. Any of you homos call me what's his first name? Any homos call me Francis. I'll kill you.
The name is Francis Sawyer, but everybody calls me Psycho.
That's thank you.
Any of
for
you
looking
guys
it up.
call me Francis, and I'll kill you. And then what was the follow up?
The captain's like, lighten up, Francis.
Yeah, line up Francis. Yeah.
But okay, to kind of end this.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Let's see. In other gamer news, if you are looking for a dope game to get involved in, then grab a cup of Liber Tea and join the Helldivers 2 to spread democracy and kill them bugs.
Is that
Dude,
literally a quote in that game?
No. Well, yeah, that's what they scream the whole time. They're like, have some liberty. And then they're just like screaming like, for democracy. It's so good. It's like Starship Troopers video game. It's so good.
Yeah, you've been kind of into that game the past couple weeks.
Yeah,
You've been
like
playing it hard.
so much so that I'm not sleeping at night, and like everybody else who's playing it, it's so good, dude.
Yeah. Who introduced you to that game? Was it Dylan?
Dylan, like I saw a little bit about it, but no, Dylan actually. Dylan showed me it, and then I started looking into it. But he's like, I've heard about this game, and I'm thinking about getting it. And I'm like, let's just do it. It's only $40, and which
That's
is cheap
crazy.
for a game.
That's
Normally
crazy
they're
that that's
60.
cheap for a game, but yeah, it's
right?
like half the price of a game now.
I'm like, yeah, let's just try it. And it was sucked because we bought it, downloaded it, and we hopped on to play that night. And all the servers crashed because it was so huge. Like everybody wanted to play it, and so
Oh,
the
wow.
servers couldn't handle it. So it took Taylor and Allie like 2 hours before they were able to get in on a server.
Oh my gosh.
And so I just waited until the next night, and then I got to play it a bit. Dude, it's so much fun. You just drop
Is it
in
first
from your
person shooter or is
Yeah.
first person? Cool.
and you just drop in, or I guess it's third person. You can see the guy in front of you.
Yeah,
it's
third person.
You drop in from your ship, and then you just like do a couple little missions where you like blow up the aliens' eggs, like they're different patches of their eggs, and then you try to extract, make it back to the ship. It's so good, dude.
Cool. Anything
We'll
else
play it
that
on
you're
here.
playing or streaming that you want to shout out?
No, that's the only one I'm really playing right now. And then I already called out the Battlefront Classic. Those were the two things I wanted to throw out there. So
Cool, man. Well, thanks everybody that hopped on the chat. Thanks for the new chatter. That was pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Francis.
Francis,
Sweet.
lighten
Next
up,
week.
Francis.
Next week we're gonna be doing Doom Part 2. So go and watch it. I hear it's great. We're gonna be watching it this Saturday with all of our friends. And it should be great. So thank you guys as always. And we'll see you all next week for Dune Part 2.
I'm stoked. That was fun.
Yeah.
And
See you
that
guys.
will be fun. So
That will be awesome.
later.
Later.